I won't ask you to compare Mike to other guys that you've had here before,
Yeah.
but just in general.
Yeah, I think Mike and Gerald both are very similar to the really good players that have come from Penn State. They're tough, they're smart, they're athletic. They can play the run and defend the pass. They're good rushers as well. So I think they both have very good skill sets. And very comparable to the other players that have preceded him that I've been with.
He told, his teammates earlier this week not to worry about him. And it seems like selflessness is one of his key characteristics. Where do you think that comes from?
Well, I think he's got a great mom and dad. His dad played here. His dad played 8 or 9 years in the NFL. Very grounded people. And I think Mike is one of those special people, and you've probably felt this as well, just speaking with him, that he's a very good football player, but he also has a very charismatic personality to him. And he's got natural leadership skills. And he's very excitable. So that's a really unique and great combination.
How much easier does that make your job when you have a guy like that?
Yeah, with self-starter who just grabs it and goes. That's very comparable to the kind of kid Sean Lee is.
Okay.
Sean was that guy. Sean was a leader. Sean was a self-starter. Sean took control of every situation. Mike is very similar to that.
Do you have anybody looking forward that can fulfill that kind of a role?
I think right now Glenn Carson is about ready to accept that role.
Is it tough to pull that out of a kid sometimes?
I think in Mike's case it's natural. I think Mike just has it,
right.
That it factor. And some guys, some guys are great players, but they're not as animated. So I think you got to be who you are, and you can't force it if it's not there. And everybody does it in their own way. Gerald Hodges, in his own way. Glenn Carson, he does it through example, as tough as nails, and he's the kind of guy everybody respects because he is so tough.
What just looking ahead to next year, some of the guys, obviously losing Mike and losing Gerald. Is Naeem a kid?
Naeem is a guy we're very hopeful for. Ben was a second teamer this year as a redshirt freshman. He got a lot of work, so we're hopeful Ben's going to step up. Mike Hull's back. Mike's a terrific player, and Glenn Carson's back. So hopefully, that's a good nucleus to start with.
You gonna try to push for a 6th year for Mike?
No, Mike's going to move on. It's time. I think he feels like he's ready to move on and take on another challenge.
Okay.
Hopefully the NFL.